All right, so breaking just minutes ago, NewsNation has confirmed that Israeli troops have invaded southern Lebanon in its fight against the terrorist organization Hezbollah. This comes after Israel assassinated the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, in a targeted airstrike in Beirut. So what will the U.S. do now? Will they get dragged into the war? I want to ask former U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon and Israel, Richard Jones, and also I'm joined by Harvard law professor and longtime friend, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Alan Dershowitz is also with us. Thank you both for being here. Richard, I'll start with you. Israel now has said that they're starting this, what they're calling a limited ground invasion. Richard, what do they mean by limited?
Well, apparently it's basically commando raids. They're trying to destroy the infrastructure that has been built in a few of the towns close to the border that apparently would be used by Hezbollah in any attack. So they're trying to push back the front, so to speak, from the border as much as they can. But it does sound like it's a limited operation. But, you know, limited operations have a way of expanding sometimes.
I was wondering this earlier. I mean, how does the command structure, Richard, work with Hezbollah right now? Because Israel killed their leader. So are they organized at the moment? Like, who's actually calling the shots?
Well, Nasrallah has a deputy, or had a deputy. His name is Naim Qassem. But he doesn't have nearly the stature that Nasrallah had. For one thing, he doesn't have clerical training. He's more of an apparatchik. He's a bit of a hardliner. At least we always considered him a hardliner when I was there. He's been the deputy for 30-something years. But there's another person named Hashem Safieddin who does have some clerical training and is reportedly much closer to Iran than Naim Qassem is. So he's the betting favorite among some Lebanese, at least. I personally don't have an opinion.
Professor Dershowitz, Biden has made it clear over and over again, it seems like, that he wants a ceasefire. Netanyahu apparently just ignoring him at this point. Is that because Biden is a lame duck? He doesn't really care what Biden thinks? I mean, is the timing good for Netanyahu because of where we are right now with the election?
I don't think the election has much to do with it. The timing is good for Israel because it's weakened Hezbollah. Remember, on October 8th, Hezbollah and Lebanon declared war on Israel. It could have avoided all this by not joining Hamas and sending rockets, but they did, and they drove 60,000 Israelis out of their homes. Israel couldn't tolerate that at all. I think this raid results from America and the UN not being able to enforce prior UN resolutions. Remember, there was a ceasefire in effect based on a resolution that Hezbollah would move back beyond the Litani River. Neither the United States nor the UN have been able to accomplish that. The result, 60,000 Israelis homeless, and Israel had to do it itself. And I hope it has only a limited scope and a limited role, and that we can go back to a situation where the Israelis go back to their home, where Hezbollah goes beyond the Litani River, and it doesn't expand beyond that. I don't think this is going to expand because Israelis have knocked out the command structure of Hezbollah. They've really defeated Hamas. The Houthis have hopefully learned a lesson that when they attack Israel, their infrastructure will be attacked. Iran seems to be having its leaders hiding in safe places for fear of having happened to them what happened to Nasrallah. So I think Israel is in a good position now to merely enforce the UN resolution that demanded Hezbollah to go back to the Litani River. And if that's accomplished and the Israelis go home, I think we can see a very limited incursion and the Israeli soldiers can get back to working in their normal jobs.
Richard,
yes.
Richard, I want to ask you, I mean, why does Biden want a ceasefire so badly? Especially now that we're talking about Hezbollah, when they've got the blood of American soldiers on their hands. I mean, I think it's about 240 American soldiers killed by Hezbollah. Why does he keep pushing ceasefire?
Well, I mean, diplomacy is the only way you're really going to settle this unless you have a scorched earth policy. So in the long run, you have to have some agreement. And Professor Dershowitz pointed out that there is a UN resolution on this. which has never really been properly implemented. And that's why one of the things I wanted to point out is that the Lebanese Prime Minister, Makati, has recently announced that he is prepared to send the Lebanese armed forces into the south and to implement the resolution.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.